And he takes on the Snake, a guy who will definitely pose some problems in terms of the reach. Has 7 inches on Shogun, also a Muay Thai practitioner. He has never been knocked out. Has the Snake, and look at that, a flying knee and a right follow-up. Well done, but the takedown by Shogun saying, okay, you want to meet me strike for strike in the Muay Thai, I'll take you to the ground. And this is a place where, obviously, Shogun, being out of the Shooter Box Academy, should dominate.
It was early. It's early yet. I mean, believe me, it's early yet in the first round. But he wasn't being met in his Muay Thai. He was getting beat in the Muay Thai. The Snake was using his reach and his quickness to beat him. Shogun's smart move, taking it down to the ground right away. But needs to sit up a little bit, try to get rid of this underhook on his right side, and try to get to the guard pass. Nice job. Wow, great somersault over for the guard pass. That was because the Snake was putting so much pressure on his head. All he did was almost do a backflip over and ends up in perfect side mount.
Snake's been training on the ground for 5 years. Refers to his style on the ground as unorthodox. And while he has some submission skills, he admits that, well, Shogun is definitely more experienced on the ground. And we can see Shogun controlling now from the side. Nice jumping knee to the side of the Snake's body. But what kind of a threat does the Snake pose being so much longer, the limbs so much longer for Shogun? Is it a benefit or a disadvantage for Shogun in this respect?
In the submission game, it's a hindrance if you're not sure what you're doing, and the Snake is admitted he really doesn't know what he's doing down here in comparison to Shogun.
Right.
And on his feet, obviously, we just saw that it was actually better. You know, he's very wiry on the bottom, but his length is going to be a detriment if Shogun gets any
great
kind of,
sweep and stand up here by the Snake. Diabate, knee to Shogun. Shogun goes for the takedown and using that height, trying to thwart it for a moment, but Shogun perseveres.
Tipped it over, needs to get by that knee on the left side by pushing down on it. Snake's doing a good job of controlling his wrist, though.
Mauricio Shogun was coming off one of the best years any MMA fighter has ever had in 2005 when he won the Pride middleweight tournament. Destroyed Quinton Jackson, went the distance with Antonio Rogerio Nogueira in a fight that many believe is one of the best in Pride's history. And then, of course, stopped Alistair Overeem in the semifinals and just ran right through Ricardo Arona in the final. And then, of course, beginning the year 2006 with that injury against Mark Coleman. And you know he wants revenge against the Hammer. Yeah,
he desperately, got to talk a little bit. And it's great because all these guys that come from these foreign countries, their English is very, very good. And so we actually get to spend some time because, as you know, Mark, I have no skills in the foreign language at all. And he told me that he desperately wants to fight, Mark. He's not going to have the chance. Even on October 21st, he's not going to have that chance. But he definitely wants to
was
fight.
In the modified scar position, then shifted his hips. It looks like he's going for the side choke here is Mauricio Shogun Hua.
He's on the wrong side. He has to cross his body over to finish it off. As you can see, the Snake popped it out relatively easily.
So far, the Snake at least showing some basic understanding of submission defense on the ground. And again, he has trained. He's not like he's a total fish out of water on the ground, but he, again, told us during the interviews that he'd rather have this fight stay in the stand-up.
Shogun tried to step over there for the Martmar, and he really didn't set it up too much. The Snake's legs got in the way.
And that's where the legs, the long limbs come into play as a bonus and a benefit for the Snake. Although Shogun doing a good job positioning, controlling, now looking to maybe, there's the knee ride, and just steps up and meets the Snake with a high knee.
Snake's very quick. I'm very, very impressed with his stand-up game. And his ability to get back to his feet. He's done, obviously, twice now. So
he's one of the tallest 205-pound fighters in the sport. Again, similar to Alistair Overeem, and he tagged Shogun there. Shogun came back with the overhand right. Good job by the Snake as he goes for a spinning back fist to elude that attack. An interesting test for Shogun in his comeback fight here against the newcomer, the Snake.
You know, you would think, well, his debut in Pride, it's going to be, it's tomato can, kind of easy of a walkover, but you don't get it now. You know, everyone in MMA is very, very tough in what they do, and the guys that have been competing, and even other organizations.
Another elbow to the rib cage of the Snake by Mauricio Shogun. Interestingly enough, Shogun, who has electrified the crowds with some of the best knockouts in Pride, is taking on the Snake, who has never been knocked out in his career, a former world Muay Thai champion. In fact, he fought and beat accomplished kickboxer Rick Rufus in Las Vegas. When we asked him what he thought his best attribute was, he told us his brain. And of course, the mental aspect of fighting, very, very important. A lot of people tell you the mental game is 90% of the fight game.
Yeah, I really believe that. I mean, most of my problem when I was competing was the fact that I mentally broke down. You know, you can pick any one of my losses in my matches. You can see it even when I lost to Hirato Sakurai back in '99. I was beating him up.
Nice mount here by Shogun. Sorry, Trig, as we near or past the midway point.
The mental game is big. It's huge, and that's the thing that they do down in shoot the boxes. They really learn how to work on the mental game. These guys are mentally tough all the way around.
Shogun now taking a page out of that shoot box playbook with those kicks to the head, and now
oh my gosh,
and the referee steps in and stops this fight. He put up a valiant effort, but for Mauricio Shogun, back on the winning track. Shogun with his sights set on Mark the Hammer Coleman, a fight I know a lot of Pride fans look forward to seeing. But Shogun victorious in his return at 5 minutes and 29 seconds of the first round via referee stoppage. A knockout for Shogun, improving his record to 9-1. And, well, we talked about it. Cyril the Snake Diabate, never having been knocked out in his career, well, he never fought Mauricio Shogun before either.
Yeah, that's true. We're getting back into it, and this is one of the things you have to understand is that as you start to roll around, you're not really good on the ground. You have to tie guys' legs up. You know, the Snake didn't do it, so he kept getting hit. And none of them really landed solid, but every single one of them landed slightly enough to add up the damage overall. Great. Not even with the heel, it was the middle of the foot, the softest part of the foot.
And a strike like that can break a guy's jaw. I mean, he caught him flush on the jaw with that, and there you see, oh, he's actually tapping. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The Snake was actually tapping. So it's actually a submission. And they ruled it a KO, but we caught that in the replay. He tapped.
You know, I got to tell you what, I mean, this is going to, you know, Shogun is the real deal. He really is one of the best guys to fight, you know, absolutely.